again and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elena and I'm so grateful that you decided to check me out. In today's video, I am making 3 projects. Do you hear that? There are trees being cut down next door, so it is a little loud and a very noisy cat. Anyways, in today's video, I'm making 3 projects that are the perfect gifts for Mother's Day, which is coming up on Sunday, if you didn't know. And I promise you that your mom will actually love them. I don't know about you, but my mom is not the kind of mom that wants like a bunch of jewelry with my name on it or things with my initials on it. She knows she's my mom, I know I'm her daughter, and she just doesn't need that. And she's just a stylish lady, and I appreciate that about her. So although I know she'd be gracious to accept a gift that had some cheesy love you to the moon and back saying on it, I wanna just elevate Mother's Day a little bit this year by making her something that she would really love and really be happy to receive. You hear that? Mm-hmm. To be real, I know my mom wants a cabin, but I don't think that's gonna fit in my $50 budget. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure about that. Plus, homemade gifts are just like so nice to give to someone because it shows them that you were thinking about them and that you put in real effort and time to make this special thing for them. And please make sure if you enjoyed this video to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new DIY videos every single week and I would love to see you back here. So, I'm gonna try to do what I can to make her gifts that she will actually love receiving. And even if she doesn't love it, she is an awesome mom and she'd never let me know she hated it because she's just that great. So with that, let's jump into the projects. Nope, okay. For our first Mother's Day gift, I used a piece of wax paper, Crayola white air dry clay, a small scalloped dish from the Dollar Tree that I found in the party section, Dollar Tree greenery, gold metallic acrylic paint, white acrylic paint, and super gloss Mod Podge. I started by rolling out a fist-size amount of clay until it was about a 1/4 inch thick. Next, I used a bowl that was 5 inches in diameter to very lightly trace a circle on my clay. I then cut off the part of the greenery that I wanted to use as my stamp and gently rolled it onto my clay. Since the clay is pretty prone to cracking, especially when it's rolled out so thin, I made sure not to press the greenery too far in. I repeated this a few more times to create my design. Once my design was complete, I placed my tracing bowl on the outlined circle, and this time I cut the clay all the way through. Using my knife, I gently worked the clay off the bowl so I was left with my perfect circle. Using a little bit of water, I smoothed out the edges. I then placed my Dollar Tree bowl in the center of the circle. I picked the clay up using the wax paper, flipped the clay onto the bowl, and finally peeled the wax paper off of the clay. I pressed the clay around the bowl so that it would take the form of the bowl. As I did this, my bowl did start to crack, but I just used a mixture of clay and water to make slip to mend the crack, and that worked perfectly. I ran a little bit of water over the entire surface, including the edges again, and let it dry in the bowl for about 48 hours. Once it was dry, I removed the hardened clay from the bowl form. I wanted to paint the top edge of the bowl, so I used painter's tape to create a nice, clean line. I painted 2 coats of gold metallic acrylic paint around the edge. I removed the painter's tape and moved on to painting the rest of the bowl, top and bottom, with 2 coats of white acrylic paint. If you have a different sealer you use on your projects, please let me know in the comments because I'm really on the hunt for something that works a little bit better. I like the high shine of this Mod Podge, but it almost makes the clay feel more like a rubbery texture, which I don't love. Even so, this turned out to be such a sweet little delicate bowl, perfect for a nightstand or a bathroom, and I can't wait to give it to my mom. Next, I wanted to make my mom a pair of lightweight earrings. So for this project, I used 2 different colors of polymer clay, small cutters in the shapes I wanted the earring to be, a stamp with a cool pattern on it, a rolling pin, and earring findings, which is just a fancy way of saying all the tiny little pieces that are part of an earring. The first thing I did was roll out my light colored clay until it was about 1/8 of an inch thick. Then you'll see I had a little trouble with my circle cutter with a few failed attempts at cutting out my circles. By the 3rd time, I got the hang of it. I poked a hole in the circle and then made 1 more identical circle before moving on to my 2nd color. I rolled out my 2nd color just like I did with the first, but for this color, I used my stamp to pattern this part of the earring. I used my large cutter to cut my shape and again poked holes at the top of each one. I then decided I wanted more of a half moon shape, so I cut each piece in half. And before I baked these, I actually ended up poking a 2nd hole on the opposite side of each of the circle pieces because I decided to switch up my design last minute. So I stuck these in the oven for about 30 minutes at 275 degrees, and once they were cool, I started to assemble the earrings. I used my findings to connect my 2 pieces together as well as the earring hook, and I did this for both of the earrings. These little pieces were a labor of love for sure, but I'm really happy with how they turned out, and the effort was definitely worth it. For this last project, I started with this little bud vase I had laying around that I'd used in a previous project. It was begging for a new life, so it was perfect for this DIY. I also used blue acrylic paint with baking soda and some floral diffuser reeds I got off of Amazon. I'm not even going to try to explain this first part too much because it was just honestly terrible, but essentially I started by trying to do a light and dark blue super artsy pottery look, but I just could not get it right. So I switched gears and painted the entire vase with just the dark blue paint mixed with some baking soda for the infamous terracotta look. Once that was dry, I used metallic gold acrylic paint to create a freehand wave all around the bottom of the vase. For this, I needed 3 coats for complete coverage. The last step was to add some diffuser oil and my floral reeds, and voila, a gift I know my mom will love. I was just planning on giving her the one that turned out the best, but because my mom is seriously just so great and I'm pretty excited with how all of these turned out, she's gonna get them all. And if she's watching this, I totally just ruined the surprise, so happy Mother's Day, Mom. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed today's project, and if you did, I'd love if you gave this video a thumbs up and make sure to please subscribe to my channel for weekly DIY videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here soon.